Thailand's message to foreigners: get legal or don't stay. Something is happening in Thailand that a lot of foreigners either haven't noticed yet or they don't want to admit. Thailand is slowly ending the long-term tourist lifestyle. Now, before people start screaming in the comments, let's be clear about something. Thailand is not, contrary to what you might hear, kicking foreigners out. Thailand still allows millions of visitors every year. It welcomes retirees, workers, investors, and people married to Thai nationals. But what Thailand is clearly moving away from is the idea that foreigners can live here indefinitely while technically being tourists. And that distinction matters. For years, there has been a gray area. A lot of people came to Thailand on tourist visas, visa exemptions, education visas, and a variety of other arrangements that were really never designed for permanent living. Some people did visa runs for years. Some people bounced between neighboring countries. Some people stayed on short-term visas over and over again. In the past, enforcement was inconsistent. Immigration was simpler. Databases weren't as connected. And frankly, Thailand had bigger things to worry about. But that era is fading. Thailand is moving towards something much more structured. The message now is simple. If you want to live in Thailand long term, you need to fit into a legal category. For example, if you are retired, Thailand offers a retirement visa. That's one of the most common paths for foreigners who want to stay long term. But that visa requires financial proof. You either need a deposit of 800,000 baht in a Thai bank or a monthly income of around 65,000 baht. That hasn't changed in almost 30 years, and some people complain about that. But think about it realistically. If someone wants to live abroad permanently, shouldn't they be able to demonstrate they can support themselves? Most countries require far more than that. Another category is people who work here legally. Foreigners with work permits and proper visas tied to employment, they are not tourists. They are professionals who are part of the legal workforce. There are also foreigners married to Thai citizens, and marriage visas allow people to stay long-term as part of the family structure. Then there are investors, business owners, media people, and people who qualify under newer visa categories. All those fall into legal residency frameworks. But the group that Thailand appears to be targeting is something different. It's a group of foreigners who technically remain tourists, but who are actually living here year after year. And those people are starting to encounter more friction, more scrutiny, more documentation, more requirements. Systems like the TM30 reporting, 90-day reporting, and stricter visa reviews are all part of a broader shift towards monitoring who is actually living in the country. And banks have tightened rules on foreign accounts as well. Tourists don't need bank accounts here. Residents do. So financial institutions have begun aligning their policies more closely with immigration status. And all this points to the same direction. Thailand is trying to reduce the number of loopholes, the number of gray areas, and encourage foreigners to recognize their status, regularize their status, and this isn't unique to Thailand. Countries all over the world do this. Try living indefinitely in countries like Japan, Australia, Portugal, without proper residency status and see how long that lasts. Because guess what? I got news for you. It won't. Every country eventually draws a line between visitors and residents, and Thailand is doing the same thing. People say, oh, go to Vietnam, go to Cambodia. Okay, watch. Right now, maybe the visa system is fairly easy, although in Vietnam, they don't have retirement visas per se. But in the future, the visas won't be as easy to get. Now, you can get in on the ground floor, and that's great. But where the conversation gets a little bit uncomfortable is that some foreigners complain about the visa requirements. They complain about the financial thresholds. They complain about reporting rules. And the reality is simple. Thailand is not obligated to allow anyone to live here indefinitely. And I can tell you a lot of the financial restrictions, they've been the same for many, many years. They've been the same for as long as I've lived here, okay? If someone wants to build a long-term life in another country, they need to qualify under that country's laws. It doesn't matter if it's Thailand or Singapore or Portugal or wherever it is. That's just how international migration works. And the truth is that Thailand still offers one of the most accessible long-term living environments in the world for foreigners. Retirement visas are available. Marriage visas are available. Work permits exist. Investment visas exist. There are even newer long stay programs being introduced to attract certain types of residents. Of course, there's the elite visa, but the key word in all of those options is legal. Legal residency, legal status, legal presence. The long-term tourist lifestyle, when someone effectively lives in Thailand while technically remaining a short-term visitor, is becoming harder to maintain. And that trend is unlikely to reverse. Thailand is modernizing its immigration systems, improving tracking technologies, and aligning policies with global norms. And none of that suggests the country is becoming hostile to foreigners. If anything, it suggests Thailand wants foreigners who are stable, transparent, and properly documented, as they should be. In other words, people who live here under clear legal frameworks, and that's the direction the country appears to be heading. It's been heading this way for the last 10 years or so. And the long-term tourist era isn't completely gone yet, but it's definitely coming to an end. Now, some of the takeaways here. Thailand is not closing its doors to foreigners, but it is reducing the loopholes. Long-term living in Thailand increasingly requires fitting into a legal visa category. If you can't, they're not going to make exceptions just for you. Oh, but I've got almost 800,000. I have 790,000. No, you're not going to get in. They're not going to let you. That's how it works. The future for foreigners in Thailand is clear. Legal residency, not permanent tourism. That's all I have. I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok di leo jerk and my. That's good luck and see you again. Take care.